Okay, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce the next guest speaker, and that is Assistant Chief Constable Julie Cook.
I'll try and get this right from the start so you can hear me, hopefully. Is that all right at the back? Good, thank you. I'm Julie Cook, and I'm the Assistant Chief Constable with Meseyside Police, with responsibility for local policing and criminal justice, which are both pertinent, I think, to what we're talking about this evening. I'd like to say thank you for inviting me here tonight and for asking me to speak. I do feel very privileged to hear other people's stories and really start to understand. I really do feel like I'm in a privileged position, so thank you. I've given a lot of thought, and I've pestered Christian a lot with regards to this evening about what I was going to say. I've spoken to transgender people, and I've done quite a bit of research as well. Whether I've looked in the right places remains to be seen, but I have tried to do my research. And for me, what I really want to understand is what a trans person's journey is really like. What trans people have had to go through and are still going through. But more importantly for me at this time, is what can I do as a senior police officer to make the journey for trans people easier. Back in January, the Commons Women and Equalities Committee produced its first report, in which it stated that transgender people in the UK face, in quotes, high levels of transphobia on a daily basis. And they have a long way to go to achieve equality in the UK. And it also noted that the NHS and the prison service need urgent reform, but that there should be more training for police officers and teachers in handling trans issues. In that same report, it stated that about half of young trans people and a third of trans adults attempt suicide. Some of this will be because of the way they've been treated by others. And that's why we're here tonight, to remember all of those who have lost their life due in some part to the fact that they are transgender. So what's my role? I'm the Chief Officer Champion in Merseysside Police for the LGBT network. My aim is to make Merseysside Police more inclusive for everyone and to make us an organisation that feels comfortable and safe to be a part of, which treats everyone with respect and takes all of us for who we are, whether or not you belong to a minority group. I'm working with the LGBT network to look at how we can start the conversations about trans issues and start to remove some of the trans ignorance within the organisation. I want to find ways that people can start to ask the questions they feel they shouldn't, but will assist them in understanding. The role of the police is to prevent crime and disorder, protect the public, and secure and maintain public respect. But unless we can look after and support our own staff effectively, then we have little chance of doing a good job for all of our communities. So where are we now? We have transgender staff in most police forces, and linked to that we have a very active national transgender network, as well as the local LGBT network. The networks have the visible and open support of chief officers, and you'll probably have seen the Chief Constable and other senior leaders marching in Pride this year. We are absolutely committed to making Merseysside Police a better organisation for LGBT staff as well as other minority groups. But have we got it right within the police family? Yes, in part, but not always. Do trans staff feel comfortable at work? Not when they don't want to go into the canteen for fear of being looked at or pointed at. Won't use the toilet for fear of that funny look or for someone obviously to walk out. Feel overlooked for opportunities, and don't feel supported by line managers to challenge inappropriate behaviour. Or on occasions actually feel ignored by line managers because they don't have the confidence to properly support their staff. But we have supported staff through transition, and we have created policies, partly written by staff who are transitioning. We have good support through the network, and there's a close link to senior staff. We have the will and the desire to make things better, and to work with staff to do that. I don't want to do anything that goes against the views of the network, but what I want to do is everything I can that will support moving the network forward. By doing this, we have the best opportunity to start to give the best service to all of our communities. From April 14 to March 15, we had 23 reports of transphobic crime. In the following year, from April 15 to March 16, we had 44 reports, nearly double the previous year. The harsh reality of that is that transphobic incidents are taking place, but the positive side of it is that there's increased confidence to report. But we still have a way to go. I'm pleased that we have different ways of reporting crimes, such as Stop Hate UK and Armistead, and we have hate crime coordinators who make contact with young people to give support, will speak confidentially and give details of support groups and meetings that they can attend. The hate crime coordinators also attend schools and link in with schools officers. We know that a lot of hate stems from pure ignorance and misunderstanding, so education and awareness of young people is imperative. We try to get a diverse group of individuals working with us through the cadet scheme, and as has already been mentioned, we recently inspired and reassured a young trans person after they'd heard one of our talks, and they saw that we are an inclusive and supportive organisation to join. We do positive work in the community through the Diversity Role Models charity, which several police officers take part in, and we're trying to influence language and behaviour to combat transphobic hate crime. In 2015 to 16, the charity reported some powerful statistics for young people they had delivered an input to. For example, from those inputs, 88% said that they would be supportive if a friend said that they were LGBT. 86% would not use derogatory language after attending the workshops. 96% learnt about LGBT issues, and 81% would do something if someone was HBT. The police can on occasions be seen as arrogant and self-serving, but we are trying to understand and do the right thing. I know that on occasion staff don't know what to say about trans issues, so they choose not to say anything at all and ignore the situation rather than deal with it. But with all of that said, I have real hope for the future. I know we don't get everything right, but when I look at how far we've come with regards to gay and lesbian support, then I think we have the significant learning to help us improve. When we're here next year, I really do hope that we can start to report a more understanding police force, a more inclusive environment, lack of fear in the organisation, and the ability to talk openly about trans issues. In turn, I would hope that our relationship with the trans community is improved and that we're getting good feedback from the community about how we're doing. In my role, I would feel delighted if we had the open relationship where we can start to get that detailed feedback and build on that to inform our awareness as well as our training. If ever the police have any part to play in the premature loss of life of a trans person, we have to fully understand that and do something about it. And tonight underlines the need to make sure we're doing everything we can to prevent the sad and early loss of life of anyone from the trans community. My commitment is that I would like to work closely with you to do that. Thank you.